travels to the NCAA championships every year to watch it.
Just to watch.
Wrestling.
But I hate to cut you guys short, but I know you guys want 6 episodes today.
No, we need 5 because of live show.
Yeah. Okay.
So we
Because Brandon screwed up the live show.
Brandon screwed it up. All right, so we can 1, 2, 3 go. Welcome to the
Hey
Show. This is the fan show for MMA and grappling. It is definitely not a show for experts, but for people who, still ask the dumbass questions that we were talking about before we went on camera.
Yeah, it's for people that don't know how to fix cam links.
Yeah.
Burn them up.
Dumbasses.
Hopefully by now we have a new cam link.
So Michael's lazy, so I did mailbag. But, that's also like where Chad gets to shine and tell us his knowledge and stuff.
I have knowledge.
I actually have a new segment for you, and I'm really, really excited about it, but I don't know how to execute it yet. So I think it'll be on the next tape.
Action.
All right.
Yeah, there. All right, so first question. I was raised in a gym that discouraged tapping. What are your thoughts on tapping out? This is an actual real question.
Never tap.
I think the exact opposite. Just if you're stuck, tap and reset and go again, you'll probably learn more that way.
Tap early, tap often.
I was talking to 3 people this week, and that was their exact wording was, I will have a really hard time tapping out. And then I told them, no, you won't.
I mean, I do sometimes. I get it. Sometimes I don't want to either.
Yeah.
Well, certain people. But
I had a guy call me the other day and say he wants to start training classes.
Oh, God.
And I called Ronnie because he's like, I just got out of prison. And I'm really good. I can take 2 people on at once. And
he can take on 2 people at
I
once.
said, well, you're only going to fight 1, I think. And he's like,
take on 2.
yeah. And he's like, I'm just saying, like, I'm pretty good. Like, I know that when I'm in there, like, I'm 160 and no one's going to stop me.
Oh, Wednesday night. Come on, so I can be there.
It's one of those guys that's going to black out because he's too
Yeah,
good or
kind of he
whatever.
said that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even, like,
I think the
on
response to anyone that says something like that is, well, I don't know. I don't think we can help you. It sounds like you're far. Let me get you the number to Randy Couture. Let me find it.
Get you the
I got
FBI's
Forrest Griffin
number.
here.
On
Yeah.
one end,
Yeah,
I'm feeling
personal
bad. I'm like, I
bodyguard.
want to help this guy. He needs help. But on the other end, it's like,
Dude,
you're talking about coming in and killing my students.
The actual
Like, I don't
response
know.
should just be, come in Thursday night, Tristan will be here.
All right. Should gyms have a system of reporting dangerous rolling partners?
That's a good question because I read that one and I
Like a
just-
suggestion box kind of thing?
Basically,
I mean,
it's-
almost, yeah.
I actually I don't dislike the idea. I mean,
yeah. You
The-
got
the
you got
grievance box?
what is the best way to go about doing that?
kind of like this guy I just talked about. Like, if
Exactly.
he shows up and he is, or, I mean, I'm not going to say the other guy because I like him, but, like, when you're hurting every damn partner you engage with,
Mm-hmm.
it gets old because I know we're fighting and I know we're getting better, but damn, we also want to go home at night.
Yeah.
Well, the most important thing is to not get hurt so you can continue training.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to have an ego with somebody in the gym, and then I talked to Jeremy Brick, and straight up he just told me, yeah, just don't go with him.
Yeah.
And he made me actually have a really healthy mindset, and he was like, well, Michael, he's like, you're important to the gym, I assume. He's like, everyone seems to like you. He's like, no one's going to judge you for that. And, you kind of get in your little bubble, and then you really do think, oh, this is going to make me look like a bitch or something.
I know,
like that.
it's kind of the thing I'm doing right now. It's like you start creating your own story of a situation. It's not the truth to the situation. You're just creating it because it's like, I am being a bitch. But it's like Corey. Like, I like Corey. I have
just call
nothing
Corey a
against
bitch?
Corey. No, I'm just saying I can't necessarily keep up with Corey anymore.
Right.
Every time that I've rolled with Corey now, it's and it's not anything he's doing. He's being gentle. He's being nice.
Yeah.
He's not pushing the limits or trying to, but he's 6'8", he's 195, he's in incredible shape, he moves incredible, and okay, maybe I could just be a bitch and let him take me down and lay in side control and just gently work out of it so I don't take any risk. But then again, it's like, it's not really fair to him.
Right.
I'm 140. I'm not, now I'm just making sure that I'm staying safe, so I'm not even really pushing myself against him to actually challenge him.
Yeah.
So, like, I've got to a place where it's not worth it to roll with him, and I feel bad about that because it's like, on one end, it's like he is my student. On one end, like, I want to help him, But on the other end, it's like, man, my damn body can't do it. And he's not even being mean. If he was being mean, I couldn't even imagine.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think in this scenario where they're talking about this, they're legitimately talking about.
Talk about the guy that called on the phone.
Yeah. I think they're talking
Prison
about the
prison
creepy guy that lays on a woman's chest too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think those are what the situations we're
100%.
talking about. And I would say that if you are at a gym and you don't feel like you can go to your instructor and tell them that, then you're probably at the wrong gym.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've been in gyms like that.
Yeah.
We came to our instructor and said, hey, there's a lot of women complaining about this guy touching them inappropriately, and they just shrugged their shoulders and said, well, he's a blue belt and he's important. And I was
And
like,
it's
Damn,
worse
I didn't
if
know
it
you
is
got that
your
much
instructor.
power at Blue Belt. I skipped that power. Shit.
I just now started parking in the front row because I'm a brown belt.
Damn.
so it's funny because you guys have only been in one bubble,
Yeah.
and I've been in
Yeah.
numerous bubbles with my daughter, and yeah, it's different, honestly. All right. If you had to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner the same every day, what would be your menu? Let's go to Brandon first, because he laughed, so then.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner every
Same.
day
Actually,
for the rest
man,
of my life.
Yeah, fuck, I messed that up. Chad, go.
Pizza?
I mean, but hold on. You
For
can't have
breakfast, lunch,
You
and
can't have
dinner?
breakfast, lunch, and dinner pizza. That's messed up.
One kind of pizza.
Yeah, that's weird.
Cheese pizza.
Then you're a weirdo. No offense.
Well, what do you do? Like, do I get to pick different kind of pizzas?
Yeah, exactly.
So like a
Breakfast
thin
pizza.
crust pizza, and then like a like a
There's
like,
no-
a,
never mind.
like a
There's
regular
no other
crust
food.
pizza, and then like
A
like, I could-
regular crust. You know.
All right, Ronnie Brandon next.
deep dish and toss.
Ronnie
Thin
Brandon
crust.
next. Let's just let's
He's like
cross over.
he's being Bubba Gump or Bubba right here. It's like, well, there's this kind of pizza, there's this kind of pizza, there's this.
You
shrimp
got the cities,
sandwich.
New York, Chicago,
Yeah.
Los
He's just
Angeles,
on regular
California Pizza Kitchen,
Square
blah, blah,
pizza, triangle pizza.
blah. Ronnie Brandon, want to go?
If I had to pick one thing to eat for the rest of my life like that, it would be soup. Some kind of soup or just soup in general.
Man, you guys are not playing this game right. I'm talking about you have one meal set. Like
Mhm.
breakfast, this is what
I
you're
got
having every day.
Oh,
Lunch, this
okay.
is what you're
You
having.
worded
every
it
day.
wrong.
Yeah,
I see.
I worded it wrong. That's right. My question.
Fix
I
the
worded it
cam
wrong.
link.
Exactly.
So I read it before and answered it here, so it wasn't worded
Cheater.
wrong. Breakfast burritos,
That's what I was gonna say.
For sure, breakfast
Dude,
burrito.
It's so hard to beat that.
pizza for lunch, and steak and potatoes.
God dang, that's my exact
I mean,
thing
that's
that
a-
I had. Yep, that's exactly it.
It's pretty.
The only thing
I
I
already
switched
do
corned beef
this.
hash.
So I can
Breakfast,
just
that's the
tell
only
you,
thing.
pancakes in the morning,
There you go. Hey, something other than pizza.
pizza for lunch,
Pizza
That's
pancakes.
fine.
and probably cheese bread for dinner.
Cheese bread.
That is so weird. Why would the cheese bread not be for lunch? That is so weird.
Well, the pizza I order when I come to town from either Joe's Pizza or Pizza Man. Then I eat that lunch special. Then I get the Walmart cheese bread, which is delicious right now.
Right now,
Right now.
like you have futures in this. Like, I don't know. The cheese bread market at Walmart is going up and down. Right now, it's pretty good, but it can nosedive at any time, man.
Well, sometimes they're empty.
Wow.
Corey's introduced.
Right
Corey's
Right when
introduced-
you go in to the right, it's that fresh
I
deli.
don't care. Right now is where I'm still at. Right now.
I'm
Right
just trying to
now
help
it's
you
good.
guys.
Chad,
Yeah,
can I expand your mind for a second?
Sure.
Corey's
Right now.
introduced me to a plain bagel. You toast it.
Yeah.
Then you put cheese on top of it, and then you bake it in the oven.
Yeah.
I mean, try that.
Sounds good.
But did it come from Walmart? What's our over under?
Fresh daily.
What's our projected?
All right.
What's his ROI on this bread right now?
Are you guys all familiar with the term "Look at me, Louie"?
No.
Mm-mm.
Never heard that one before?
No, I haven't.
I think I might know what you
it's,
mean, though.
It's basically like if
Somebody who's craving attention, sort of.
exactly 100%. So
No.
This- this is a question. This is a common thread on BJJ Fanatics. I'm not joking. I saw 3 of these.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. You know about people that ask the stupidest questions in the world and then they get like 186 answers?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I wanted you. It would have been pretty incredible if you went to where I was going. I was shocked for a second. I was like, man, that'd be.
I saw one the other day and it was like, why the fuck are you asking the dumbest question in the world? Like,
Welcome to the internet.
and then everyone's like, this is the most white belt. Are you just wanting attention?
Yeah. No,
like,
I do know what you're saying. It's like, how do I tie my belt?
Yeah.
And then like some guy comes on there and shames you for asking how to tie and that's basically the answer.
And that is also basically the internet. That is
basically
welcome to the internet. We have fun and games.
I trained with Tom Hardy guy. Is that a look at me, Louie?
Yeah.
Is this a dig at me?
Kinda.
No. It's actually on this one occasion. This was not a dig at you. I just saw 3 people who wrote, "I trained with Tom Hardy," and then they put pictures up, and then everyone was kind of like, "Where's the question?"
I mean, it is, but it's hard to fault him. You know,
Yeah.
I'd probably be excited too.
Yeah.
So.
It's a real look at me, Louie. Though.
Mario Lopez
It
is
is,
cool,
for
okay,
sure.
Michael?
What's
Well,
that?
if it was like I trained with like Rafael Mendez, like if I trained with that, the only place you could put that up and get appreciation would be one of those.
Oh yeah.
But if you said I trained jiu-jitsu with Tom Hardy, you could just post that on your normal page and have enough people
That's
look at
kind of
you.
what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't you just put on your like?
Because everyone's like, "Oh, that's cool." Like you were in the same vicinity of Tom Hardy. I don't care what you were doing. You
Like
could
that
have
time
been,
I got a picture with Kenny Florian at IBJJF.
Right, yeah. Like no one knew from here or from like on your normal page, but you told us, we're like, "Oh, that's fucking cool."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Ken Flo, man. He's
Ken
the best.
Flo.
Yeah,
He's one of my
the best.
favorites.
He had some good quote the other day, and I was actually going to put it on the show, but he like broke something down really.
He's a pretty great analyst.
hardcore. Yeah, he's really
so
good.
intelligent.
Actually, I think we just talked about that. I was like, why is he not doing main feeds all the time? Because he's really good. Yeah.
I should probably follow him.
Agreed.
Hell yeah.
All right, dude. All right. Anyway, so I just started training.
Is that a Louis?
I don't know.
I don't know. I just made the
Joe's
joke.
name's Ken.
I just started training. I feel like I got hit by a bus. Any tips to help?
Well,
Get used to it.
upgrade to a train or a fucking airplane.
So that if you get hit by a
The bus
get
is
hit-
just daily.
you get hit by a bus, you're like, the train, that's
Yeah.
bad. Throwing
Yeah,
out the plane,
I don't know.
that's the worst.
I have 3 things written down: ibuprofen, water, and hope.
Yeah. Get a masseuse.
Mostly hope.
Yeah.
Just know that it's all gonna come out, and the more you get beat down, the
All right.
more your body
Back to
comes
something
back.
from earlier though, like when you're talking about not ever wanting to tap, like those kind of go in line with each other. The more you tap, the less you're gonna feel like you got hit by a fucking train. So
Yeah, the one I never understood is when people try to hold out on like the worst kind of submissions. Like, because the other day I saw someone, they were doing some sort of ankle lock, and it looked really bad, and I was like, why are you fighting out of that? But like I think it was some kind of choke they got put in, and they instantly tapped, and I was just like,
Yeah.
the choke all lasts forever. That
Yeah.
my ankle, like I don't want none of that, you know.
That is someone that doesn't quite understand how it works yet.
It has to
That's
be,
how
yeah.
how I think. Like
I didn't know who they were. So
you
that
can
helps.
hold out on chokes a little bit, but also, I mean, there's been some studies where they're talking about, the more you hold out on chokes, the more you go out on chokes and stuff, the more chance you have of brain damage and a stroke. You have a bigger stroke risk because the less time that your brain is getting blood, and that's all chokes are, blood chokes. So I understand
it's
if that's
definitely
a
not
thought.
good for you.
Yeah, but it's also just not as good as just constantly getting your ankle popped.
Here's my
I-
only
yeah.
idea on the thing that frustrates the shit out of me that I constantly see, whether it's choke or a joint. If you're not actively escaping it, why are you still in it and
Yeah.
not tapping?
No, yeah,
So like,
agreed.
you're in an arm bar. It's like, okay, you're not hitchhiking, you're not gripping, you're not. Now you're just like, let's see how far it gets to where the extreme pain it comes in before I tap. Or
Yeah.
the same thing with a choke. Okay, at least if you're fighting the arm and you're doing, and then you f up, right? Then it's like, okay, well at least I was actively trying to escape.
Yeah.
But then people are just standing there and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, like, why did you wait the extra 3 seconds? Like, just tap in.
Yeah.
That's the best contribution you've ever had to a mailbag. That's amazing. That's amazing analysis.
That was smart.
I'm the only white belt here, so I guess I'll just brag that I'm shittiest. But anyway, so Dakota, the other day we were doing no-gi, and he started doing like leg locks, and I didn't realize he knew leg locks. So then I was like, oh okay.
My Dakota.
White belt Dakota?
Yeah. And then so we started rolling legs, and then he kind of stopped and looked up at me, kind of like, "Is this okay?" I was, "Oh yeah, go for it, man. You're good." So we went to heel hook, and I would defend, and as soon as he got the bite, I would tap.
And gi?
No, no gi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So as soon
we
as
better
he got,
fix that shit before we
as soon as he got the bite where I could feel he had a good bite, I would just tap instantly, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, good." And he was like, "Oh, I feel okay rolling legs with you. You don't seem like you're an idiot. It's gonna try to, And I was like, "Yeah, no. As soon as that bite's there, I'm tapping. Armbar. That's always my rule. Once you break my hands apart, there's no point. I tap. I'm done. Like I'm not gonna.
Especially with your knee, like your knees and your shoulders, man. You just don't want to fuck with those.
Unless you're Mongolian.
Yeah, Mongolian.
Samba Mongolian.
Yeah, then it's mandatory.
That's called a callback right there, my friend. All right, so this is gonna be really interesting.
You gotta word this correctly.
Who is the worst person in the gym? I'm not gonna word it correctly because I want to just hear. I just want to hear how everyone answers this.
The worst person.
I've really,
From all the gyms?
Can
Or
I-
my gym or?
Hey, Chad, can I tell some truth here for a second?
Sure.
Sometimes on mailbags, I fucking mail it in. And I just put shit on there and be like, I think Chad will want to talk about this for 3 minutes. This time, I really crafted it and was like, man, I'm going to have some fun with this because I was bored. Really bored. So, I'm going to ask this question. There's going to be no follow-up.
Of course.
Who is the worst person in the gym?
An Effingham or Terre Haute.
Sir,
or the whole
I'm going to say this
association.
one more time. There's no follow-ups. There's no anything. It's just an answer. Who is the worst
Am I
person
first?
in the gym?
I don't
You're
know.
sweating this, so no,
don't
you're going to
know.
be last.
Okay.
Because I want you to like hear 2 other answers and then formulate,
Let's
okay,
start
this
with
is how we're
Brandon.
answering it.
No, don't start. I gotta find a piece of
Brandon,
solution.
I know he is one of those people that sits in the corner and just thinks toxic shit about everybody.
Yeah.
Constantly.
He's got
so
a
there's got to be a
journal.
list. Yeah.
He's got a journal.
It's like,
at
what's
home,
that
goes
one
in,
movie
writes
where
it in,
like
yeah.
You got a black
Kill
cat,
list?
you know?
Oh, Death Note.
and then
Death
and then
Note,
he
yeah.
like takes the guy off because he calls him on the phone like
Oh yeah, that's in
What movie was
Billy
that?
Madison.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, all right.
Stupid shit,
Billy
man.
Madison.
Yeah.
Not on the list.
Was gonna kill this guy,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he apologized.
So Brandon, what's
No,
your
go
list?
ahead,
No,
Ronnie.
he said Ronnie.
All right. So I didn't have something written down, but I kind of know what I want to go with, and it is
Now.
the dangerous roller. It's the one that is, especially the one that like doesn't pay attention or doesn't do drilling and like kind of half-ass does that or doesn't show up until after that, and then just goes in and just tries to kill. Like there's a difference. Like you can come in if you can't do the drilling part, or it's like Corey's one that it's okay if he doesn't do the drilling part because he's the one it's probably something that he already knows.
Derek.
So
Derek
another one. They can come in and when they actually roll, they're trying to work on technique and stuff. So that I don't
Why are
count
you
them.
staring at me like that? Jesus
But-
Christ.
But the person that goes in there only to roll hard, to prove to themselves that they're the badass of badasses and doesn't pay attention in drilling, that's the worst person in the gym. That's an archetype.
There we go.
And that's what
Nice.
Michael was looking for.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know and you don't get in trouble.
Wink,
So
wink.
Shane's not the answer.
Oh,
So I'm gonna. That's what my answer was. Gonna be.
See, I knew somebody was gonna say that name, and that's fun.
But honestly, he's gotten a lot better lately. So.
He's-
Man, we had to push his ass Wednesday, but yeah.
I did
To make him do
crawl
those bear
laps for him,
crawls.
yeah. So you did 1 lap for him. I did 1 lap.
What is it, Brandon?
Oh man, it's just like it's hard. It's I feel like the worst person in the gym almost is those people who just won't tap whenever they're in something that like they should,
Yeah.
you know? And it's like I don't want to hurt them. So
Yeah,
I'm just
that's a
so
good
I just
point.
let them go and go to the next position usually with people like that.
Or they tap too early.
I'd rather them tap early than
No.
force me to come to the decision of hurting them or
No.
letting them just go.
No. We know what kind of tapping early means. Once you get mouth, then they tap.
Oh. I've never
Yeah,
had
Chad's
anybody
laughing
do
now
that.
because now
You're
he
talking
knows.
about the person that
Oh,
anytime
we
they
don't
get-
need no names.
I'm
We
not
don't
saying a
need
name, but you're talking about the person that
It's the only
to
person-
save their ego when they get to a place where they're not going to actually work through difficulties, they just tap and reset. Which I see that more in kids, but I do see that in adults.
Oh,
I've never seen someone get mounted and tap.
I've seen a lot
That's
of
Joey. It's the only person I've ever seen Joey really want to murder.
So I mean, I do
Joey-
see that.
Joe.
Callum, maybe,
Yeah.
or whatever. Callum.
Yeah, I do see that at adult. I would say I would see that like I don't know what the ratio 1 in 50 adults that would do that. But kids, it's almost more common. Like
Yeah, it's pretty
if
common.
they
It's
get into an area where they don't.
I could see it.
And the
with a
sad
kid.
part is no one actually ever corrects that, and then
Right.
they continue to
We
do
do it
that.
in Mowequa.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we try, but I'm saying
called a
like
5-minute round with Corey.
so.
That is actually the punishment when you tap early. That's the punishment in Mowequa. You roll 5 minutes with Corey.
Serial killers, you.
I think my pick on this will be, and I am going to throw out a name, which I don't give a shit, is Oscar. Okay.
Oh, that's a
Here's the part as a coach, as I'm trying to build a team and
That's a
I'm trying
good
to get
call.
our game to the next level and I'm trying to make everybody what they want in life. Because when someone comes to me, when Ronnie came to me, when other people come in, they're like, I don't want to be a world champion. I want to be the best coach. Or I want to be, I want to be a better whatever in life. I respect that. That is, you come to me, I understand that not everyone's going to obsess about being the best jiu-jitsu practitioner. Ronnie has told me from the beginning what he wants, and he's now created that, and that's fucking awesome. So, I have no issues with that. I have issues with someone coming in and saying, I want to be an MMA fighter. I want to be a world champion in jiu-jitsu. And then nothing they display actually fucking creates their reality. It's all excuses and bullshit and coming up short every fucking time that I start to invest in them, and they don't
Showing up
live
late,
up their shit.
leaving early.
That's the shit that pisses me off.
I mean, as a gym owner, I can understand why that's your person, and I totally understand. And now me and Ronnie are kind of getting that.
Yeah, we know people that are like that, and that's a thing. They normally
You
drum
ran one
themselves
off.
out.
Who did I run off?
Well, never mind.
There's I mean, and they
Whisper
kind of
joke.
end up running themselves out. Like
Yeah.
they realize that
Chad did actually. This one he actually did.
Yeah.
He told him to leave. But anyways, all right. No, don't say a name, please don't. Okay. All right, let's go on. All right. If you were in the movie Edge of Tomorrow, what is your
I'll say that one.
What is your
Can I just say it? Shit, I'll announce it. I'll post it on
If you
Facebook.
were in the movie Edge of Tomorrow, so I found out that
Sure, I'll get a
I
fucking hate
don't
call.
think you watched Edge of Tomorrow. You
I have
watched
not. I have not.
Oh, this is a shitty question.
I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen it. All right. So,
I
and you'll
know
also,
what it is.
and you'll actually know what bottle episode means too. So there you
Can I
go.
look it up?
If you were in Edge of Tomorrow, I'll explain in a second. What is your bottle episode? So there's a scene in Edge of Tomorrow where Tom Cruise decides, you know what, not even gonna try today, and he goes to a bar and gets drunk. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so what would your Edge of Tomorrow bottle episode be? Chad, Edge of Tomorrow is a movie that, do you remember the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray?
Yes.
Okay, so it is a science fiction movie that is basically Groundhog Day, but when you die, you go back to start the battle. So he gets to choose and like keeps
He keeps reiterating on how he can survive this
Yeah.
unwinnable battle because he
Okay.
wakes up every day at the beginning again.
Okay.
It looks like the dumbest. Like when you hear the premise of the movie, you're like, "This is the dumbest movie ever." And then actually, I
like the idea of it.
I watch it once a year.
kinda wanna watch it
Kind of
now.
seems like
It's
it's
pretty
actually
good. It's an alright movie,
It's a
yeah.
pretty good movie.
Pretty good
actually.
science fiction movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what would your bottle episode be?
Like, what would my battle be?
No, so
No.
like if you decided to take a day off from going into the battle, you were just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna go do that today. This time I'm just gonna go get drunk, or I'm gonna go jump off a building, or I'm gonna go fight a shark or
Yeah,
something.
But do I have to live in that scientific era, or do I just live in my life?
You're
Like,
still
okay,
living
every-
in that life
You're
that you're
still-
going
yeah.
through that Groundhog Day kind of thing
Yeah.
scenario.
Can I get your guys's?
Sure.
Just so I can.
Okay.
Let's go with Ronnie first because he might have
Because
prepared.
I'm trying to think of it, but I don't want to be off. I'm slow a lot. You guys got to spell shit out for me.
That's part of learning.
Yeah,
That's
you
part
know,
of
I'm
learning.
trying
you
to
gotta
learn.
know your defaults. Man, I would say like if I had to be just like in just taking my day off, nothing beats like a beach day. just being on the beach, water, around water in general. Water is just such a soothing thing. So just like, yeah, getting drunk on the beach or in a boat, that would be for sure what I would do. And then exactly go fight a shark.
Yeah.
For sure. If you're going to die, you're going to pick the way you're going to die and just respawn. Why not go out by shark?
How did he end up doing something where he died again too during that episode? Where he
Yeah. So that's how he finds out that the little monster thingies invade London. So he's in this bar drinking, getting drunk, and then all of a sudden the monsters come in and kill him.
Okay, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
And there's different versions.
I feel like
of
I've
this movie.
seen parts or a clip or.
There's different versions of this movie because it was a disaster in marketing. Originally, it was called
Live, Die, Repeat.
Live, Die, Repeat,
Yeah, I
and then
remember
it's also called Edge of Tomorrow, and there's different cuts of it. So I watched the cut when it came out on DVD, and I was watching it on a streaming service, and I did not remember that part where he goes to the bar and then just drinks, and then all of a sudden the monsters come in. So that's why I asked that question, is because I was like, oh, that's actually funny.
Yeah.
Because in Groundhog Day, he does that too.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna die anyway, so he
Yeah.
goes and just does whatever. So I would just get high. That would be it.
Yeah, mine would be so mundane. I would
Yeah,
just go
too
home
high.
and play like video games.
You would do the same shit you already do.
Just take a day
I
off.
would continue to do what I do.
Yeah.
Well, that just means you're
Yeah.
living your best life.
I am, man. No,
You definitely are living your best life.
I'm not lying. Yeah,
I'm a little
I enjoy
jealous
it.
some
Chet?
I think what I would do is I would want to try to see if I could start robbing some banks.
There we go.
Multiple banks.
I mean, realistically, because I think about this a lot. Like, I am constantly like this good person that wants to fuck.
Hold on. You think about robbing banks a lot?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So, because here's the thing. Like, to me, I don't want to break a law. I don't want to go to jail because I'm clearly not going to do good in jail, no matter how much jiu-jitsu I know. I don't really want to have any real trouble in my life. I just want to, like, build my life and make it peaceful and enjoy and retire. Like, that's my vision. So, but down inside, it's like, I wonder what I could get away with if I really thought it out.
Yeah.
Really, like, put some actual effort. Could I rob some banks? Could I, like,
Be
get away
straight
from
up.
some shit? Like, how GTA could I get before I died?
Just straight up Ocean 11.
Yeah.
Just
Like,
come
with
up
all the
with a
people I
plan.
know, could I talk a group into doing some crazy shit and us getting away with it?
Well,
I'm just curious.
So you're
Hold
gonna
on.
take a break from the fucking endless battle.
That's what I was
Just,
about. Yeah, that
Dude, let me tell you, okay? The guy I'm listening to, Garrett, to do the shit that I'm doing in my life right now, you got to be a little bit fucking crazy anyways. To build the business, to go through all this shit, to do the jiu-jitsu, all the crap, you got to be crazy to be an entrepreneur.
The reason
So-
Brandon's asking this question is because you're basically Ocean's 11 the battle.
Yes.
So then you choose the Ocean's
Yes.
11 another
Yes.
a bank robbery?
Correct.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I'm sick in the head. I own that, okay?
Alright, sweet.
Like,
Yeah.
I almost don't know, like, it's kind of like I say I want peace. I want retirement, right?
Yeah.
But I almost couldn't do it,
No.
right? I would
Yeah,
sit in
there's
a
no
fucking
way.
chair and I'd be like nuts.
Oh, Tina couldn't.
I
My wife couldn't,
have
no
to
way.
have the chaos a little bit almost.
I feel
Yes,
like
chaos
what would
is-
I
happen
could have
in
retired
that.
at 12.
What would happen in that is exactly what
You
happened.
have been retired since 12. You mean
Do that.
restate your
Yeah.
line. I retired at 12, Brandon Wells.
Yeah, if you go and you rob banks and you figure out and you learn that, and then you'll pick up some new information and then take that to the battle. That's what will end up happening 100%.
So you're deciding not to take a day off.
Yeah, I just don't think I could. There's days that I'm like, I want it, and then there's days like I can't fucking
I gotta
do it.
admit,
It's
though-
like when I went on our family trip last year, not this one. I did really good this year on my family trip. But Mandy's like, can you shut off?
I thought you were going to say I robbed a bank.
Not down there, because they don't have any money down in Alabama. I'm just kidding.
Making friends. Making friends.
Look, there's some rough
Robbing
areas, but
banks,
there's some
making
rough areas
friends.
up here. I'm sorry. Anyways, it's more affordable down there. I'd gladly move down there in a heartbeat. But okay, back on focus. I couldn't shut off, and I don't. Sometimes it's hard for me to shut off. It's almost like I feed off the chaos and the trying to grow.
Well,
It's like I need
out of
that.
all the scenarios, yours would be the most entertaining to watch. So,
That's fair.
Are you gonna rob a bank with me?
sure.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Look, the bank gets robbed. It wasn't us.
What is the biggest mistake you see at a local tournament? And I'm not saying like referees' decisions. I'm talking about like when you watch local white belts compete. What is the biggest mistake?
Such a
you see?
generic answer.
Are you talking
but-
about the people running the event or what's going on, the competitors?
I just explained that. Yes.
Okay.
To me, it's got to
He
be.
was Robert.
That's why I said that joke. Is we're getting good at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so
Brandon?
general, but it's got to be like just having a good game plan. I feel like a lot of people go out there, they don't really execute whatever plan they think they have. They're like, they go out there, they hesitate, they like push and pull around, and they fucking lose.
Yeah, I would.
Everybody does that.
I used to not. I would actually not agree with you at a lot of times. And the last one I saw, I was thinking that the whole time. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
And
it's like they don't even know before they step out there what they're gonna do. They're just like, I'll just fucking figure this out.
I'll take it on another level too, though, because Austin did it really badly. My Austin, the kid, the man child.
Yeah.
All right, so he he is so good.
Very good.
The
Very
first
good.
kid that he went against, I get that the one kid was in his head and he froze. That I give you credit. Kid's experience, blah blah blah. Sure, freeze. The first kid he fought was so scared and so frozen that Austin could have just done anything with him, but instead, Austin, it's like people get so afraid to take a chance at a local tournament that means nothing that they freeze and they just. And Cam kind of did the same thing too a little bit, and I can't remember the other gentleman that did it for us, but like everyone will hold on and not open up. It's like, look, it's a Fuji. Look, you're a white belt. Look, it doesn't matter. But they're so scared to make one mistake, they make no actual place.
We have a wrestler who wrestled yesterday and ended up getting retired. He'll never watch this, so it's all good. I finally broke through, and me and Huey kind of said it. We're like, oh, he just competes with the level of whoever he's competing against.
Well, that's definitely a thing. Some
Yeah.
people do that.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of times kids do. Is like, I mean, Sun Yoon's guilty of it. She'll legitimately, you'll be like, how can you?
You're saying
roll-
instead of kill the person because you know you can do it, you just
Yeah.
kind of go with what their
We call
momentum
it
is.
playing with their food.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and this kid straight
I
up.
probably have a little bit of that sometimes.
I believe that.
This kid straight up yesterday, he saw a kid start wrestling on his knees, and then he started doing it. And Eli's exact coaching was, when have we ever seen you do that? Like, we just don't even understand why you would even have that thought
Yeah,
to do that.
you don't pull out new stuff in tournaments.
for your career.
Yeah.
You do it white belt.
Yeah. Well, Chris Carpenter, this happened to him. He said he was about ready to win. This was last year, Bloomington. He's about ready to win
Oh,
his division, and he decided to put on a body lock on the guy, but he didn't have it set in right, so the guy threw his leg over and ankle locked him. And he's like, he was so mad and so angry, and I was like, so why did you body lock him? He's like, well, I seen it.
That is it. I've heard that. I've been that in story many times.
Yep. You don't break out new moves in tournaments.
Especially when you're winning. If you're
Yeah.
losing, break out a new
Exactly.
move.
When-
When you're winning, just ride that shit out. You're stuck in quarter guard, ride that shit out.
When Austin lost his first match, and he said, what should I do better? And I said, dude, it's a Fuji, you're a white belt, and you're playing for bronze. Pull guard if you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
Go have fun. Go test out new stuff. Now it doesn't matter. If you want to win, and you have your game plan. You go through it great, and if you lose, it happens. But if you're like, you're just out there to have fun, go have fun. That's great. Just do it safely, because that other person is not out there to have fun most of the time. They're out there to
They're
kill.
ready to kill people. You want to take a crack at that, or you want me to-
Yeah. Guard passing at the white belt level, especially full guard passing, is atrocious.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so bad.
It's so bad, and I
It's
feel like
non-existent.
it's non-existent.
I can remember getting stuck in closed guard as a white belt.
I think almost up to blue and purple
Yeah.
at local level. Sometimes it's non-existent.
Especially full. Like, I feel like people open guard pass better than they full guard pass.
Yeah.
And it's rough. I've seen so many people up on their feet, dropping their head. I'm just gonna pressure the shit out of them and see what happens.
Or
and
digging the elbow into the leg.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many easier ways to pass, or maybe not easier. I mean, you're in someone's full guard. You screwed up. You're in full guard.
Definitely more efficient.
More
ways to
efficient
go.
is the correct word. There's so many better ways to open up that guard and start passing. But so many people like, well, I guess, I'm in their full guard. I'm here forever. I might as well just drop my forearm across their face, and see if that fixes it. So many people have that. Well, I'm screwed. I guess
someone I know.
Oh.
Most common mistake in a technique or submission. This is a very technical question, obviously.
Most common mistake in technique or position. Well, I mean, for me, the first one that comes to mind is people escaping side control. People don't frame correctly whatsoever, and that's another thing I see a lot at local smaller tournaments.
Oh my God, I don't know how many
Is
people I saw do side control and they hold the head.
No one wants to get on their side. Everyone lays flat on when they're in a bad position. No one actually frames. How many people hold instead of create space?
Yeah.
Like, definitely, and I notice it in my students, so it's clearly something that I keep trying to address. It's like, okay, you're holding your opponent, you're helping them.
Yeah.
Like, you're laying flat on your back trying to create space and you're doing one bump. Well, clearly that's not going to work.
Yeah. And
So-
I was just going to expand on that a little bit too. Like, I see a lot of people, sometimes they have the frames and they'll use the frame just to push, but then they won't like bridge and then bring their knees in. They don't
Yeah.
put it all together, It's like they have the
two
frame.
parts instead of one.
Right. They're just like shoving and then they don't bridge and get the knees in too. Like,
That is the
Or they
biggest-
do, and then they give up on themselves as soon as it fails.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, like I told Austin or someone the other day when they were going, I was like, well, you're going to have to chain like 3 or 4 of those together. I think it was Shane.
Like, would it be better
Because
to
whenever
get-
you were holding them down in side control,
He would keep that momentum
Yeah, there's no
and-
way.
And, it's like, okay, I got here, and you just kind of settle, and you're like, well, would it be better to just go for broke there?
Yeah.
Or now you want to create that whole situation again, and your opponent knows your game now? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can understand like getting put flat because I get put flat a lot, and like there's sometimes I just can't help it, or like I'm trying to escape one grip or something like that, and I don't care if I'm. But holding people down on top
Yeah.
of you, I don't fathom. Like
No.
I've never done that, and I'm terrible, and I've never thought, oh, this is the right path. Let's hold them.
Hold them here.
But I've had people
try to roll them.
I've had people do that to me, and I'm like, why would you hold me down
Yeah.
with your chest? Like, this
Yeah.
is what I want,
You
Yeah.
mean when
Thank
you're on
you.
bottom holding someone
Yeah,
down?
Cam did it a lot
I
at that
just
Fuji, and that's
don't-
what
I
I
think
told him
it's-
when I see him. I need him to work on that.
I
'cause
think it's like almost like kind of a fear thing. It's like they don't know what to do, and it feels safer to just hold on like that
yeah,
than it
it's
does.
got to be that way.
I think it's MMA. I think they just see it in MMA.
Well, in MMA, that's fine
And I
because
tell
it
people that
stops
when
you
I
from getting
teach,
punched. in
I
the
said,
face.
look, if it's a fight,
Yeah, that's
you
totally
want to keep them
different.
glued. But if this
Yeah.
is sport jiu-jitsu,
Right.
it's the opposite.
You have to
bad
open
position, create space. Good position, fill space. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
That's the
You're
time.
on today with your technique stuff. You're doing a very good job.
Damn, Jen.
Just that whole truth thing.
To throw a different one in there, the one I see all the time
Fuck
is
you, Brandon.
Kimuras. Everyone, when they go to finish a Kimura, I see so many people trying to finish a Kimura
Oh,
out
yeah.
here
Yeah.
instead of
Instead of
getting
tight.
that elbow to the chest and
Right.
turning the angle. Corey, I have to get on her about it all the time because I see her do it, and I say, Corey, put that elbow to your
Listen,
chest.
you
and
can't instruct her in Kimuras.
You're right.
She's probably an expert on Kimura. She has
is-
more Kimura finishes than anybody in our entire
I
association.
know. I'm just trying to help her finish them quicker.
I'm just kidding,
She's just
but-
playing with her food.
She at this point could probably teach a Kimura series.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
or a seminar. Like,
Absolutely.
Let's just hold on to it, and
It
then
is.
no break.
It's not even. It's not even. She's relentless.
Mhm. Yeah, once
She-
that
I
she
mean-
gets it, it's hers.
I've never watched her give up.
Have you
Ever.
seen her on takedowns?
She'll
No?
go for if it's a 5-minute match. She'll do Kimuras for 5 minutes.
In Moiku, on takedown, she's relentless. She's just like, if she's getting someone down, she will not stop. She doesn't stop moving. She's probably better at takedowns.
If
than
Sun
Sun
Yoon and Kaori could do the fusion,
Fusion.
oh my God!
Sun Yoon really
Hey.
would be. Sun Yoon would really be Gordon Ryan.
Yeah.
She'd be female Gordon.
Ooh, what would stop
Um,
that character?
I actually, this is a this is a selfish question. How do you fix bad jiu-jitsu in terms of a new student? So, what I
You're saying someone came with prior experience and they got a bad habit, and
you're fucking on today. You're locked in.
You've had quite a bit of experience with this already. I feel
for
like.
sure. This happens a lot.
Example: clubbing the head in guard, passing low without body lock, and key locks from guard. Those are like
from inside.
From top.
Yeah.
When you try
You can address the people all you want to. You can be like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. But here's the thing, right? Just like when you go compete, you get the same shit. You automatically get programmed. So like, I can tell, let's say Brandon does something, I can be like, well, don't do that, and he's gonna do it the next live roll, unless it's someone that he can toy with. So if Brandon rolled with Shane, let's say, and he knows that he can beat Shane, he would adjust that habit immediately. But if he rolled with Corey, it's going to come back almost right away.
Right.
So definitely under the circumstances, it's going to... So the only real way to adjust it correctly is, one, I got to say it to him, but then it's got to happen to him. Like, he's got to club the head and then get straight armbarred like a mother.
Damn.
To fix that correctly. Otherwise, he's gonna continue the same mistakes. But I see a lot of people, and I think maturity has a lot to do with it too. Where you are with your game and where you are maybe even with your life, to accepting I need to change this habit, because it's clear, like how Joey takes something and how Shane takes something are completely two different humans. Joey's gonna be like, I see it immediately and I'm gonna apply it. And Shane's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna get my arm popped 4 times and still probably not get it yet.
Yeah.
But he's going to keep trying. And, you still got to give him credit for still trying.
Yeah. What I had for this is pretty well exactly what Chad said, but I broke it down into 3 stages. Your first stage is when you see it, you tell them, hey, that's a bad habit. You do this, it might break you. Like, you're doing okay with it now, but it's a bad habit, someone will catch you. Then you have to, okay, you have to drill this. So just take them and drill doing it the correct way over and over again. And if you still have it, then you got to prove it to them, like you said.
You definitely got to drill. People don't drill enough.
I agree.
For sure. Like, the thing Brandon and I are doing now where we're, drilling is making good habits. And the thing that I like about Brandon and I having the flow right now is after doing, 2.5 minutes of doing what I want to do with the drill, he starts adding, just fighting not where it gets crazy,
right?
But where he starts actually adjusting what realistically would happen, and it lets me keep pushing through it. So, drilling... Nobody drills enough. You need to drill if you want to get good habits and work through the bad habits. But if you're not going to drill, then it's sad. You have to. You basically have to trial and error the shit, and no one's going to put it in the way that needs to be put in until you actually live the experience.
Yeah.
Yep. For our kids' curriculum now, Sun does warm-ups 1 time a week, usually Mondays. She drills for 20 minutes and then instructs. That's actually her big thing now. And then on Thursdays, where we just roll, she starts with 20 minutes of drilling.
Yeah.
And that's all she's making them do, is she wants them to have really good Kimuras. We got these 2 new girls that are really good. They're really good at guard retention and stuff. They have no submissions. They can't even hold a Kimura. And for my girls, it's shocking to them. They're like, how can you not just hold a Kimura and grab it and just keep holding it?
Yeah.
But now we're actually having to instruct that. How do they get better at their grips and stuff like that? And that's now Sun-Yun's big thing, is just okay, well, we're going to make them do 100 Kimuras every class, and eventually their grip strength's going to get better.
But again, here's the sad part about it, and you can't, there's nothing you can do about this. You can drill 100 Kimuras, but if your mind is just doing to get to a number,
just the reps, right?
It's not the same as where I'm at with my drilling right now, where it's what about how I squeeze the bone in the wrist? What about how when I grab the back of the palm? Every time that I'm hitting those reps, and I didn't learn that until I started doing get around 7,000 reps, where it's okay, I need to analyze, can I post on this elbow? Is it better to post on the whole forearm? Does it give me a better, if my chest is even a couple inches off to the side, I'm trying to look at every one of those details when I'm drilling with Brandon. If so many people, especially new people, because they haven't created that habit, it's 1, 2, 3, okay, I did 100.
Right.
And it's but I still don't have it. Well, yeah, because you're still, not realistically looking at getting in to the actual submission. First, you're just drilling the submission. You're not looking at the entry of the submission.
Right.
Which is the hardest part.
Yeah. Then you're not even looking at the best mechanics on how to make that person weak while you're doing the drill.
Sun Yun's addressed that by a couple things. One, she has rules on when she thinks it's a properly completed Kimura. Like, she says, like, they have to get up on their elbow, they have to do this, their hands has to be fully locked. There's a certain criteria that in her mind she counts that as a real one. And the second thing that she does that I find interesting is on Kimuras, she says, like, what's her principle? She says something about, oh, I know what it is. She makes them do it with their eyes closed.
Yeah.
So if she can grab the wrist, like, just identifying, being
I
like,
sometimes do
I know
eyes
that.
closed.
Yeah,
Do stuff like that too.
Sun believes in that. She thinks
It's
that
good.
if you can do it with your eyes closed, that it's somehow better than
You should be able to
technically.
fight with your eyes closed and just know where things are at all
Yeah,
times.
that's-
It's a good thing.
She does that a lot with her kids. She's like, starts going on about, hey, you need to be able to do this with your eyes closed.
I do think that it needs to
Technically
take some
mastered.
time to get there. You know, like
Yeah.
a newer person's going to just run their hands or elbows into things.
Yeah.
But I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
To go along with that, the famous quote is, "Don't drill it until you get it right. Drill it until you can't get it wrong."
Yeah.
That's what you know.
That's a good mentality.
Don't worry about the number of times. Just do it until you can do it without even thinking about it.
It kind of goes back to that whole journey that I'm on, which is funny, but it's like, are you existing or are you improving?
Right.
Right? And when I started applying that to all areas of my life, it was like I'm existing everywhere I am, but I'm improving my jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm improving my drilling. I'm genuinely trying to figure out how to be better at my technique. But in other areas, I was just existing in moments. And it's like, no wonder your shit's not going to grow. No wonder your game's not going to grow, because you're just existing and doing the reps in life. You're not actually trying to learn and improve that area.
I think just a general philosophy, if you're trying to get good at anything that's competitive too, is you need to have someone that is better than you. You need to have someone that's equal to you and someone
yeah.
that you're better than. Because you need to have those people that you're better than, like you said, that you can go in and try out new stuff, try out more dangerous maneuvers. You need someone that's better than you that can put you back in your place and make you realize, like, these are the fundamental things I have to work on.
And I think you need to, this is one that I'm getting to that it kind of goes back to my whole app, but you have to have someone that can hold you accountable. I think that makes a difference.
Definitely.
Right? Like, I've even been telling some people lately, like, hold me accountable. Get me off the wall. Call me out of my shit, because it sucks as an owner and instructor.
Yeah.
You're going to get in, you guys running your gyms, and as you grow, you're going to notice that you're going to fall into this slump.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not bad or good. A lot of instructors fall into it.
Yeah.
You just show up, and you're like, here's the routine, here's what you guys do, get to work, and then you're in your own different world. And you're not actually like, how am I really going to improve this person or that person or this gym or this situation? And you're just doing the reps.
Yeah.
And we are getting close to time, so I'm going to leave this to one sentence answers here. Let's hopefully we get jokes on Ronnie here. What is the technique, style, philosophy, or
Boogie choke.
submission you wish you would catch on?
There it was.
I just knew I
Got
gotta
it.
take the bone.
You know.
I would love to see more flying submissions in competition.
Oh my god.
I would like to see that as well. That would be.
They're just
cool.
exciting,
They
you know?
are exciting. As long as I'm not the one.
Yeah. I left that life behind.
Yeah. I left that life on Derek's foot.
I wanted to be a blue belt so bad when I first started so I could start doing those, and then whenever I got to blue belt, I was like, I'm never fucking doing this.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not a flying submission fan.
Cat's penis or Ronnie's tagline?
Cat's penis is the.
Well,
cat's penis.
How is
I
that
didn't
a
get- I
sign
didn't- I
off?
didn't
Is
get
the
to-
word cat penis?
I didn't get to pick one.
Oh, go for it.
You said buggy choke.
Well, I was kidding. I just took your.
You weren't.
I took your bone and
No,
went
I just wanted to do buggy
with
choke.
you know.
Go ahead. Sorry.
new.
I apologize. What's
See more of in jiu-jitsu.
Mhm.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Dead air.
All right. Don't touch your cat's penis.
I don't know what I would want to see more of. I like the leg lock shit right now, and
I had a tough time thinking about it, but one of the things in here was philosophy, and I feel like the drilling philosophy that you're talking about, the last question, that is definitely something that needs to catch on, so that everyone can improve quicker.
Yeah. Think so too.
yeah,
All right.
that's all I got.
Did you know that? Was it lions? They have like prongs in their penis,
Oh.
and then when they insert, it prongs out, and then the motion scratches the
Oh,
cat's
yeah,
Am I supposed
Semen
to edit
out?
this or add this?
and then that's what gets them to go into ovulation.
Don't talk about ducks.
The more you learn.
All
The
right.
more you learn.
Don't let the cat's penis get stuck in the door.
See you guys.
It's a new one.
Every time. Are we changing clothes this time?
I didn't even bring it. I'm sure.
I brought it.